To say, these are nowhere near as easy as they look. It took me loads of attempts last night to try and get kind of what I wanted to say across without adding loads of extra info in, and then realised that I didn't have like a really decent video editing software. So I'm going to freestyle it again today, and hope that I don't put anything in here that I want to then edit back out. So as I said, I posted on my social media yesterday that I was going to start making a couple of videos related to anxiety and doing a bit of blogging. I guess it's kind of been prompted from the fact that I've been on quite a big journey in the last year trying to work out how to accept and deal with my anxiety. Recently I've been having some really good hypnotherapy sessions which are helping to get things under track. I'll talk about those a little bit more another time, but I guess I really wanted to kind of go into why I'm making these videos today, and hopefully be able to cover a few topics that are important to me and hopefully to other people. So the main reason I'm really making them is because I'm like absolutely fed up of feeling ashamed and embarrassed about it. I still talk about it quite openly, and then I still feel horribly anxious after I do, because I think I think we have assumptions about what anxiety is. I also think that a lot of people that have anxiety make it seem worse actually than how other people do even perceive us. So I remember telling my last boss that I had anxiety, and I instantly thought that she was going to sort of consider me to be like unreliable and unstable. And if she did, she certainly didn't show any of those things. She didn't treat me any differently after I told her. If anything, she was just a little bit more supportive. Now, I'm not saying that all bosses are like that. I once worked in recruitment, and my boss basically informed the table that he didn't believe in mental health, which was great because I knew at least half the people on that table had some form of mental health issue. So that was like, okay, we're not going to talk about that subject then. So yeah, the conversation's getting louder, more people are talking about it, but I don't think we're talking about it enough, and I don't think we're talking about it in the right way. I don't really think it's good to like define yourself by your mental health. I think it's important to recognise that you have issues, understand how to educate your friends and family about them, but I think that there's a lot of almost in talking about it, we're kind of saying, right, I'm going to label myself, and once I've got that label, I know that there's something wrong with me and it makes it okay. And part of that's good, but actually part of, I feel like what's happening in society now is that people have this checklist of what they think anxiety is. My anxiety manifests completely different to other people's. Anyone that knows me knows I can stand in front of 100 people and talk as if it's nothing. It's not nothing, by the way. In my head, it's like an absolute brainstorm of feelings, emotions and fears, but I'm still happy to get up and do it. I actually enjoy doing it. I really love public speaking. Other people could not even face the concept, but there's people that have anxiety that is manifest in such a way they can't even enter in a normal one-to-one conversation, let alone a conversation that's happening in front of hundreds of people. There are people who have social anxiety where it's so bad they can't leave the house, and there's people like me who I'm able to leave the house, but I'm having a panic attack most of the way to a party, and most of the time I'm there, and then I spend the last half an hour thinking, how can I leave without having to awkwardly say goodbye to everyone? It's like my pet hate. I find it the most uncomfortable thing, and I've thought about that before I've even got there. How do I end the night in a way that's not going to make me feel really uncomfortable? There are people who have anxiety around work who can't answer the telephone because it makes them feel so anxious and so worked up. And then there's other people who anxiety, they're absolutely fine on the telephone, but if you ask them to sit face to face and maintain eye contact with somebody, it's like their worst nightmare. I think my main point is actually everyone has anxiety, every single person, because it is a natural body reaction to situations of fear and discomfort. It's just that anxiety manifests its way in situations for people actually where sometimes it isn't normal. So I, for example, have quite a bad anxiety about being in the car with other people, which I will talk about another time, and I know quite a few people I've spoken to have the same issue. Whereas most people don't have an issue with sitting in the car as a passenger, it's something that for me is an absolute living nightmare, and God help the people that have to drive me, because I must drive them absolutely insane. So I guess one of the big things that I'm just going to kind of finish on, I don't want to make this a long video today, was talk about it. We've got to talk about it. I think people are often surprised when I tell them I suffer with social anxiety, because I'm possibly one of the more outgoing people in my circle of friends particularly. I will walk into a party and talk to absolutely anybody about anything, and I look and seem very confident, and part of me is, but another part of me will then replay those conversations for the next 5 days, thinking about all the things I said and shouldn't have said, and whether it came across wrong or right, or whether I seemed like this kind of person. And I've got, you know, a real thing about people judging me and the judgments that they make, and I will have whole conversations in my head that didn't even happen because I'm so worried about the impact of how I behaved in a situation. And if I said to that person, hey, did I come across as a bit strange, they'd probably think I literally didn't even think about it. We were having a conversation. And that's, I guess, something that a lot of people probably feel. Be really interesting for people to give me feedback and say whether they feel the same, because part of me making these videos is actually about, it's kind of in a selfish way, but therapeutic for me, because it allows me to speak up about something that I find incredibly difficult to talk about still, because I am even making this in the back of my mind. I'm thinking, oh my God, everyone's going to watch this and now my secret's out. So it's out there, guys. And I hope that, you know, you don't have to come out and say, me too. But actually maybe you'll watch it and go, yeah, you know what, I feel like that. And okay, so I'm not the only one. And that's enough. That's great. Any topics that people want to talk to me about, my next one is going to be about being in the car, and how to overcome this, and methods that I've been using to try and not drive my partner absolutely mental. It's gotten better, unless I'm in a particularly anxious state, in which case I just drive, because it's not really fair on either of us. So anyways, that's it for now. I'm going to upload this. I'm not going to rewatch it because I will overthink absolutely everything that I've said. I hope that this video makes even some use to anybody, and if it doesn't, then it's great, because actually I just feel like it's a step I need to take anyway. So till next time.